The Team Never Quit podcast is sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union, and they don't just serve the Navy, they serve the Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, and even Space Force. No matter where you're at in your military career, they offer the products and resources to help you navigate your finances. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Good, welcome back to another episode of the Team Never Quit podcast. Easter's coming up. You guys have any big plans for Easter?
The ranch. At Easter egg hunt, I'm Cajun, so we do egg pocking. It's a thing. It's a contest. And my grandparents are coming in.
Explain.
Egg pocking?
Yeah, egg pocking.
So you take, you dye your Easter eggs. And after you dye them, you have a basket. Like, say you would have a basket, I would have a basket. And we're competing against each other. So you take an egg, I have an egg, and you do the small part of the egg and you hit it against each other. So that's pocking it. And whoever has the egg that cracks loses. And this is a thing in Louisiana. It's like a statewide thing. And people bet money on it, like real money. It's a thing.
Never
I'm telling you.
This is crazy.
If you're from Louisiana, and actually Southern Living did a write-up on it one time. And I was like, we're talking about egg pocket. Because nobody knows it unless you're from like middle of nowhere, Louisiana. So it's a thing. Our family does an egg pocking contest.
We didn't.
And you can't slam it. It's like you just tap it. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to get you and crack it. It's like a little tap. Yeah.
Interesting.
We didn't do egg pocking in Long Island, New York.
No.
We didn't have we did pencil break in high school. I remember in junior high and elementary school, but
That's the closest thing to pocking you've ever done.
What are y'all doing for Easter?
Probably just regular church brunch. No egg pocking.
No egg
egg
pocking.
as the kids get older, like we go out onto the ranch, the safer they are, the more they can venture out. I'll make the scavenger hunt for the eggs. One of them will be out in the middle of the lake on a little float. They got to go figure out how to get it, right?
Oh.
And there's a reward out there. So it's like it becomes like a treasure hunt instead of the normal found it around the house.
Yeah.
Marcus
Kinda spreads
loves
it.
treasure hunts.
Man, yeah.
That's cool.
Like around here, he has buried so many things that he draws maps to, and one day he wants the kids to find.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
We do it all over the world.
I
We
think
travel
that's
around
cool.
and drop waypoints. Like when we travel, we'll take a coin, plant it somewhere, and then get the waypoint. So when we
Geocaching?
No, but
It's
it's just for our family.
it's for our family. So when the
Yeah.
kids get older, it gives them an incentive to travel. I was like, you're going to travel and you're going to go
That's
and
so
see what your
cute.
mother
We
and I
have
saw.
challenge coins buried in Bangkok,
Ireland, Thailand.
Ireland,
It's
Budapest.
It's everywhere.
Oh, that's so cool. And
Everywhere.
this is just for the kids. This
Yeah,
is
it's
not
just
for
for the
like
kids.
we can't go do
Yeah. I mean, we have geocached, but this is not part of it's our own.
This is for them to
Family
learn how to
geocaching.
appreciate what we got to do.
that. I think
And we
that's
have
great.
saved the GPS coordinates of where the coins are. And he has one on top of the Luttrell Castle in Ireland.
Yeah, we have a castle.
Not our castle, but it's called they say Luttrell over there.
I don't care how they say it. I'm from the South. Say it my way. That's all
But
I
it's
got.
spelled the same. And we went there and he snuck up somehow. We were having dinner
Somehow.
and he
Oh,
gets
somehow.
up on the roof of this castle and
Isn't that cool?
hides a coin.
We
Yeah.
had so much fun. She surprised us on one of our anniversaries. That's the first time I'd ever been there. It was in Ireland, in the town,
Aw.
in the town,
Yeah, he
Luttrell, and
had no idea we were
I had no
going.
idea. We rolled
Yeah.
up on that sucker, man. The dude standing out, red carpet, glass champagne.
Wow.
It was cool because our honeymoon was a disaster.
Oh.
We could talk about that's the best story ever.
So we take an anniversary trip every year, and we get up to the castle, and this like fancy Irish butler guy is standing there. We just had dinner there, and the guy says, "Welcome, Mr. Luttrell," and and Marcus said, "So this is my castle," and
Yeah.
he was like, "For the night it is," and he goes, "Well, back in the day, we used to take things back by force. I'm here. I'm ready." And the guy's like, "You can have it."
We had the best time. We've been back ever
Aw.
since. Yeah, we
Yeah.
still feel good. Oh yeah, they're great people.
He was
That whole
ready
time
to
was so much
fight for the
fun.
castle.
So we do a thing on the show every single week where we ask a Patreon question. It's where our Patreon members can ask a question to you guys. The question of the day: if the internet permanently crashed, would you cry or be happy?
At this point, I would be happy.
I'd be ecstatic.
I'd be happy.
I think I agree.
I guess. I mean, it's not a. Yeah, wouldn't change anything in how I do business.
Marcus never carries his phone.
I don't ever carry my phone. It's just like the smaller laptop, right?
Can I be you? Can I be the other Marcus for the day?
Yeah. He literally doesn't he stopped putting his email on a phone. He does not check his email
I
at all.
don't have an email, really.
I had to put his email address on my phone in case something important comes through because he does not.
I mean, she's got something that's
check
like
it.
7,000 emails. Obviously, that wasn't important enough to.
I'm
Because
envious.
if I need to be handling something, I trust me, I'll be there.
Mhm.
And they'll keep text messages from
I don't delete
years ago.
anything.
Years ago. I mean, like you can really literally go back and look up something that I did. She can look it up. Something I did to piss her off.
Oh yeah,
And
screenshot.
I'm like, why would you keep that? Because I learn, right? I've learned every time I screw up, so I don't do that. It's just a reminder. Like she doesn't forget anything
Or I
anyways.
can
Now
just show you.
she shows it to me. Now it's like hey, you remember this thing
Yeah,
you
you
did
did
back
say
in
that.
February of this year? Like,
No,
I
I
kind of
don't
live for the day,
remember that.
dude. So I thought it is just that cracks me up.
Yeah, you can't get away with as much with the internet. It's
Yeah.
just it's all for tape, you know.
Yeah.
There's no cutting it out.
No,
thanks.
it's out there.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
great
it's there.
Yeah, it's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's information at your fingertips.
Yeah, thank goodness we didn't have phones and internet. Really have internet in college. It would have been terrible.
I didn't get my first phone until after I had Hunter. So I was a mom, a single mom with no cell phone. Nowadays, everybody has a phone.
I got my first phone September 12th of 2001, the day after 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I used to use your car phone all the time.
Oh, I did
like,
have a car
in like 98.
installed in my phone.
Did you have a
Or,
bag
I mean,
phone? Did you have the bag phone with the
No.
antenna when you put it on the roof to get it off? You'd have to scrape the paint off the. Remember that thing? That magnet was so
Close.
freaking hardcore.
I had the mount in my car. So
Oh, that
you
was
actually
fancy.
you had a
Oh,
cord
yeah,
and
that's
picked it up
fancy.
and hung it
Ooh,
up.
She had
Ballin'.
fancy,
That was that
she had
fancy one.
fancy red Firebird her senior year of high
Oh,
school.
Oh, wow, yeah,
So I thought I was cool.
fun.
And a
driving
car
that,
phone. Mhm.
Yeah.
using her phone and driving a car.
With a cord.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right.
I bet if you started putting those back in the cars, it'd be a thing again because of how that was like. Man,
It
he's
would
got
just be
car-
cool.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had a car in his phone. Look at
That's
Call-
like
call
people
my phone
buying
line.
record players
Card
now.
line.
Yeah.
Like record
Right.
players are a
And
thing.
Polaroids.
VCR, yeah.
Yeah.
then-
Our daughter uses a Polaroid now. It's really cool.
We have one here, and before
yeah,
you leave,
now
we
that-
have to take a picture.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
That'd be great.
Bring pagers back. I'll take a pager.
Oh my gosh, I used to have a pager.
Those are cool.
911. Oh,
Yeah.
It's emergency.
Yeah.
Or if
What
you
do
were
you- what do
mad
you
at
need?
someone,
What
you
is it?
do like the hell, like whatever the numbers are
Oh,
spelled
yeah.
into it.
Something 3. Yeah.
Yeah. 3.
1-1.
7-7-3-4, right?
I don't remember, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually did that to people. Oh.
I think you put an O on it, you could say hello too.
Hello.
You can.
Right? You can, right? You can be polite. You can be
You
like,
can be nice.
hello.
You can be nice.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the show on YouTube. We're dropping videos every single week, which is awesome. And if you're not already, follow us on social media. You can head over to teamneverquit.com/social. You can get access to all of our social links. Thank you so much for our Patreons, for all you guys do to support the show. We've got a great guest in store. Melanie, would you like to introduce Amber and Marcus?
Yes. So y'all, welcome.
Thank you.
you.
Marcus and Amber. Marcus was in the teams, and the two Marcuses. And him and Amber have been together for how long have y'all?
Almost
About
24
10
years.
Oh my gosh.
What do you say, 10?
Ten.
About 4 or
Ish.
5.
Feels more like 80.
Couple weeks.
That's crazy. And they are blowing up on socials and everything. Everybody's talking about them because they have this organization for vets, and they are literally healing guys every single day. And it's just, their work is amazing. So we can't wait to get into your story and learn about why you're doing this, what drove you to start this organization, and hear your story.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and we
thanks,
really
Melanie. Thanks,
cannot
Marcus.
take credit for any of the work that we're doing because it seems like it's just happening. It seems like it's meant to be, and we're just kind of vessels for helping it, come to life. But it's been really surreal, and it's been an honor and a privilege to pay this forward.
That's Charlie.
That is Charlie.
Yeah.
That wasn't you?
Yeah,
Well, maybe they're like, excuse me.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
Charlie has a trachea problem.
That's
We
right.
have Charlie.
My service dog, my 13-pound multi-poo is with us today. There he is.
Can we start back from like how y'all met and just hear your story from Joe? Like Marcus says, let's treat this like Joe Dirt and go back to
Yeah.
day one.
They brought me on the Joe Rogan podcast. And I got the first one. That's the second one or third one. I don't do those very much. I was like, I wonder how this is going to go. And I was like, well, let's just do it the Joe Dirt way. Start from the beginning, and then we'll roll on through there, how we got here.
Yeah.
And but in here, no gotcha questions or anything. We're here to talk about what you guys are doing, how you got together, back it all up. Y'all
Yeah.
been together for a long time, and we're brothers in the team. So
Yeah,
everyone,
this
let's hear those stories.
Yeah, no, this is good. I mean, if I had $1 for everyone who thought I was you at a fundraiser, I told you I would just let them talk. They would, I could see them. They would like make their way over and like, oh, Marcus, and I would say, oh, here we go. Your book and just everything you've done. And I would just let them talk. And like, you in the movie. And I wanted to say like, that was an actor, right? Like I actually wasn't in the movie. And I would let them go. And then I'd have to burst their bubble and say, I'm the other Marcus. I'm Marcus Capone. Unfortunately, you're like the millionth person that thought I was Luttrell. Anyway. So.
The beard is covered. Hide us real well. I just recently shaved mine. But
It is ironic that you guys are named the same and are similar in size and appearance. So it's easy to get you confused.
Yeah, he's like 6'4". I'm like 6'4 1/4.
bro, I've had people. I've had people have entire conversations with me thinking I'm Chris Kyle,
Recently, I'm like, you
hollering me
realize-
down, and I wouldn't even
Yeah.
turn around because I just there's been a couple of times when I was walking in, and they like, hey, I just want to tell you I appreciate everything. I was like, man, the dude was dead.
Yep.
But after a while, I wouldn't tell him because I wanted to hear those because I would relay them to Taya.
Yeah, we
So-
told
So people
Taya.
come up
Yeah.
and tell me something about their father or something, how wonderful it was. I hold on to it now. Like it's not the SEALs. That's what we do. Like Mojo, we get confused with each other all the time. All of us do, actually.
Absolutely.
Everyone was on the Bin Laden raid. At least you had better been, unless Robbie's standing there.
100%.
100%. Because we take the good and the bad ones. We're known for our when we get our butts kicked, but then we're also known for when we do really well, and that's what we call the teams. That's why
People
there's not very
mistake
many of
me.
us.
They mistake me for Tom Brady. I don't know. I don't know why.
Tom,
But-
that guy.
You're such a goat.
I mean, everything. I know he just changed his name, man.
I know.
It's
A
so
perfect
funny.
smile. Then breath always probably smells good. He's always happy. Clothes always fit. I'm talking about like Tom.
Come on,
You just like just somebody down here is not fair.
Yeah, that's him.
All right.
It's true.
And he's the
ironically-
nicest guy.
He is very. We met him.
Yeah, he's the nicest guy. I mean, it's what a goat. Freaking goat.
Marcus was a quarterback, which is actually how we met.
Barely. I did. I played for Amber's dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
how cool!
Yeah, he recruited me from New York.
Oh my gosh.
So how was that meetup? Was he
Well-
digging? Is that why you quit? Is that why you weren't playing
Here's
anymore?
here's what's
Once you
funny.
started dating her, you
He
were the
came out.
quarterback.
No, this is great. So they came out to recruit me in New York, and I remember like I just looked at some of the media guides, and I started reading about, Coach Watson's family, and then I saw that he had a daughter that was, looked like around our age. I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. He's got a daughter. I wonder if I'd ever meet her.
Aw.
She's kind of cute. I
Did you see a photo of me?
think there was a photo of you somewhere.
Maybe. And I saw your photo in the paper.
Yeah.
So did you get to actually look at the recruits, like all the information?
No. Oh no. My dad kept me totally away
Oh,
from
he did?
anyone on the team. And at that time I was in high school. So I was just coming into the age when I was like 12, whatever. It wasn't an issue. But as I got older, it was like, nope. And
How cool would it be if you're like, Dad, this one is so cute.
Pick him.
Pick him. Oh my gosh,
yes,
we need
no,
him.
I didn't.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Nice,
They
huh?
think differently. We do that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know anything about him. I had been hearing about him because he was from New York and it was supposed to be so good and a really big deal. My dad was super excited to get him.
We've got to take a second to thank our friends over at Athletic Greens. They are the most comprehensive daily nutritional beverage I've ever tried. Today's about day 45 of intermittent fasting. Basically means I don't eat until noon every day and I stop eating after 8 o'clock, which means in the morning when I wake up, typically all I consume is water. And sometimes you need those vitamins and nutrients and things that it's going to take to kind of just keep you going, that energy you need. This is where Athletic Greens can help. Their daily all-in-one superfood powder is your nutritional essential. It's by far one of the easiest and tastiest nutritional habits that you can add to your health routine today that's going to help you take ownership of your health. Now, you guys know life's crazy. Sometimes it can be hard to get the nutrients you need in the day, but they've got one tasty scoop that you can add to whatever your favorite beverage is. I just shake it up in a bottle of water, and it's going to offer you 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. It includes a multivitamin, multi-mineral, probiotic, green superfood blend, and more that are all going to work together to fill those nutritional gaps in your diet. It's going to help with energy and focus, digestion, all of the above. And the coolest thing is you don't need multiple products to do all of that. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you're eating keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, and it doesn't compromise on taste. And right now, to help you double down on your immune system, they're going to help you guys out by sending you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D, and they're going to give you 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So all you guys need to do is visit athleticgreens.com/TNQ. Join health experts, athletes, health conscious go-getters all around the world who are making that daily commitment to their health every single day. All you guys have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/TNQ. Get your free year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs today. Make sure you guys support them.
I was super excited to get him, and
Yeah, and it turned out not to be that good. And
No.
I dated his daughter. I mean,
no, I saw his picture in the paper. I'll leave it at that. I saw his picture in the paper, and I thought like, oh, he's really cute. And so my dad ended up taking another job, and we ended up being at the same place. We met, and I instantly was like, oh yeah, he is my type. I thought we would probably date for a couple of weeks. It was kind of a goal of between my girlfriends. I'm like, I'm dating him for a couple of weeks. And 24 years later.
Yeah, as a high school senior too.
Oh,
Yeah.
We actually met
my
the summer
gosh.
Before my senior
going
year.
into your senior year.
Yeah, so Marcus decided, I ended up changing all of my college plans to
Where'd y'all meet at?
Southern Illinois University.
Like first
Like
meet
that's
up
the
is,
first day you
Cuckoos.
Well,
saw
no,
him in
yeah, we met at
person.
a bowling alley. One of my friends
which is perfect.
needed a hot
We met at
extract
Cuckoos.
from
What's
a situation, and I went to get her, and he was there. And then I saw you a couple other
It was
times.
packed. It was packed, and I had buddies on the team that were bouncers there. And
There was a nightclub inside the
Mhm.
bowling alley.
And one of the guys come up and they go, "Hey, Coach Watson's daughter's here." I'm like, "No way, where is she?" Right? Immediately, I was like, "Where is she? Like, I want to hook up with her."
You did not.
And then I see her, and I'm like,
So you're a freshman in college,
I
No,
was
he was
I was a sophomore at that time.
a sophomore. Okay.
Yeah, and I saw her, and I'm like, "Wow, she's actually really cute." And then she found out who I was, and she came over to me, and I
said,
think
"Oh,
you had
you're the
you may have
troublemaker."
had a few drinks. I don't know.
No.
Maybe you
I
weren't.
went to get.
So you were just angry naturally.
No, I was called from someplace else to go get my best friend who had too much to drink,
That's why you were pissed.
and I had to, go get her.
Upset for her.
So these are the first words. These are the first beautiful words I heard from her. She's like, "You're the freaking quarterback that, like, my dad,
No, I
you
didn't
got
say
in
that.
all this trouble, and my dad was supposed to get me a car."
That's not what I said.
And yeah, you were like,
No,
you
I
went all,
remember what
you
I
know,
said. I said, "Oh, you're
This
the
is my
troublemaker."
story.
I was flirting with you. I was flirting with
You were not flirting with
I
me.
said, "Oh, you're the troublemaker."
No, you're the troublemaker. Exactly.
That's all I said.
I was just adding some color to it.
Anyway, so I changed my college plans, and I stayed where Marcus was, and
You want to talk about our first night together?
Oh,
Why
my
not?
dad might be listening.
No, I mean,
Oh, he's definitely going to be
the
hearing this.
date, the date that we went on.
Anyway, so fast
Yes.
forward. Marcus
your mind.
Your dad's,
decided.
your dad's literally going to kill me.
Marcus
He's listening to
watched
this.
G.I. Jane and decided to become a SEAL.
Is that true?
Oh, we're telling everything on this show? Stand by.
You literally said this story.
What story?
No, G.I. Jane came out at around the same time that a Discovery Channel special came out, and he was watching guys do pool comp
We were actually watching G.I. Jane.
at
Go ahead, you
Bud's.
can tell. I was watching G.I. Jane with my roommate, who went into the Air Force and flew F-18s.
Anyway, he decided he wanted to go to Bud's, and I was like, I don't know what that is. There was no war. There was, I didn't know anything about the military, but I knew like we've been dating for a while now, like almost 3 years, and I just wanted to let him do his thing, and I thought I would do my thing, and then I found out I was pregnant with our son.
Oh.
Yeah, and so
Not sure how. We only held hands up until that
Coach,
point.
we don't know how that happened.
yeah, so suddenly everything was like totally in flux because he had all these plans and so did I, but not really. And so it was tough for several months. And then we ended up sticking it out.
Yeah.
And
We almost didn't though.
we almost didn't.
We almost parted.
It was a really
And,
scary time.
Yeah. And I just thought, you know what? I actually had a conversation with 2 military guys that were at Southern Illinois. One was a Marine, one was in the Army. And they're like, dude, you need to take care of this. You need to take care of this boy. Like, you need to man up and like do this. And I'm like, all right. You know what? I like these guys. I wanted to be like them. They were older. They made their bed. They washed their clothes, not like the rest of us college kids. And so they were like mentors at the time. And I think they gave me a little bit of, I had a little bit of, I was trying to, really just trying to be like them. And when they said that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to man up. I'm going to get married. I'm going to take care of this son, and we're going to be fine. So that's kind of what went on in my head and conversations I had.
Yeah. So Caden, our son, was born in May. You enlisted in June. And then I don't know how that all went down, but anyway, it was like bam, 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 bam.
Graduated college.
Graduated.
Had Caden.
Yeah.
Got married.
Got married.
Enlisted.
Went to boot camp.
What year was that?
99,
99,
2000. Yeah.
2000.
No.
Yeah, 2000.
What bus class were you?
236.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right before
more?
Mojo.
Were you
Oh.
testing me just then?
No.
You tried to stump me,
No,
didn't
I
you?
just asked him.
I
trying to
thought, you know his
figure-
team got wife, right?
I was like,
It wasn't bus class.
you don't know what bug
I'm
class you're in?
I'm not testing
236.
you.
That was
I
October.
was
Did you
trying
test
to
me?
think.
October 2001. Well, I've actually had people before when I was like in the middle of a conversation and somebody from like the side, like total blue falcon.
Yeah.
What bus class were you in? And I'm like, wait, huh? And it took me like 3 seconds to remember because
Yeah.
I can't
Oh my
remember
gosh,
anything.
no. I only asked that because I know Morgan went in around the same time.
He did.
but
He was
that would
there.
make sense.
No, he was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I was the last class in 99.
Yeah.
It's funny sometimes as I was going through all that stuff, I people would ask me that too, and I'd make up some obscure freaking number just to give them a
99?
yeah, Bravo 11 kind of, but
Still
something
Team Shadow?
completely
Yeah. So Team Shadow. That was
Shadow.
at
Someone told him
that was at jump school. So Team Shadow.
pretty sexy though.
Such a good story.
How do we not have a SEAL team named Shadow? We need to next on the list.
Funny.
That is a good story. But maybe I'll save it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So you go into Bud's, you've got a brand new wife, a baby,
Brand new.
Baby.
Yeah, he
How
was
was
like one of
that?
2 or 3 guys married at Bud's. We lived in the tall white towers next door, and I was away from my family for the first time ever.
With a baby.
With a baby, yeah.
At 20.
At 20.
At 20.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I had Hunter when I was 19, so I know how hard that is for sure.
My dad is a huge part of like how resilient I've been able to be, which parlays nicely with the podcast because his motto to me growing up was never quit, ever, anything. And so whether it was like not wanting to disappoint him or just really like digging down there, I was never going to quit.
Mhm.
And it was just suddenly, you go from being a 20-year-old high school a college sophomore to being a mom and a wife. And your husband's in Bud's. And then 9/11 happened. He graduated October 2001. I think I stupidly thought like when Bud's is over, this is over. And then even after the attacks, I was just like, we just got to get through Bud's. We had no idea.
That's
No
awesome.
idea.
Oh my gosh.
No idea.
Pretty crazy.
I mean, what 20-year-old would?
That's
That's a
like,
great point.
it makes me think of Marcus always says, like, when you have to get through something, just draw a line in the sand and, just make your short goals, get there,
Right.
and then make your next goal. And that's what you had to do mentally. It's what you were doing mentally, whether it was fight or flight. Like, okay, we just have to get through buds, everything's going to be okay, or we just have to get to that next step and everything's going to be okay.
I remember thinking too, like, wow, Navy SEALs are really tough. Like, you really don't hear about anything happening to them. That gave me a lot of peace. And then
you're like, what happened to my husband?
No, then the helicopter crash happened. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait, like this is not what I thought it was. And for the first time ever as a wife, I got really, really scared about what the future, what deployments could be. But he kept deploying. And, the years just kept ticking by.
So you get out of buds, 9/11 kicks off. Are you just sent into a bunch of workups, or do you just immediately deploy? How does that?
Yeah, no, I was, we had our class split into two. They had just commissioned SEAL Team 10 and Team 7 at the time. So half of us went to 10 on the East Coast and then half stayed on the West Coast. So I went to the East Coast, which was my first choice. And yeah, no, we jumped in a platoon and worked up for 2 years. So, and that was, that was fun. So didn't deploy right away. No,
Yeah.
No.
Because right when 9/11 happened, everyone thinks it kicked off. There was a gap.
Yeah.
We had to figure out what was going on, who did what, where to go, and how to advance on it. So
yeah, well, I mean, I just graduated.
Yeah, we all dropped in.
So
that whole.
I barely knew how to point a weapon at that time.
I think I showed up to my command January 1st, 2001.
Well, because you went to 18 Delta.
Where I took the long course.
Yeah, he went to
after
buds.
I remember when they were, you feel like your dream sheet, what SEAL teams you want to go to when you're in buds. Most all the guys got it. Nowadays, you kind of get sent to your coast, right? Well, since I was in 18 Delta, I didn't have a rate. I was undesignated. I didn't even have rank. I mean,
I didn't have a trident yet.
Nothing. As a matter of fact, they would tell me every day, like, you get kicked out of here. We're not only going to send you to a boat or a submarine. There might be some dude you don't even know. Because I came in here to be a SEAL. That's it.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Truebill. I don't know about you guys, but for me, budgeting and saving money and knowing where my money is going is very, very important to me. And I think that if you've not asked yourself that question in a while, which is, how do you keep track of your bill payments and budgets? What are you doing to save money? How are you taking control of your finances? Well, maybe now's the time to ask. If you're using clunky Excel spreadsheets or maybe scattered Post-it notes to do it, you're probably doing it the wrong way. It is a new year, which means it's the perfect time to take stock of your finances, take a look at your spending habits, and see where you can start saving. Truebill is the smartest way to manage your finances, and it is a really, really easy to use app. I actually get weekly emails that tell me how I've been spending my money, where I could save money. It actually helps me keep up with all those pesky subscription services. That's one thing that most people don't know is how much money they're spending on subscriptions because they just lose track of them, right? So you can actually manage those right through the app. You can cancel subscriptions directly through the app. You can review those recurring charges. You can create a monthly budget. They've got a ton of cool features that help you just do better with your finances. Now, the other cool thing is they work with many of the nation's top providers to negotiate and lower your bills. That includes AT&T, T-Mobile, Spectrum, which means they can find you ways to save money. So it's a no-brainer to be checking out their app. They offer bank-level security. You're going to feel good about your finances. And people think they spend about $80 a month on subscriptions, but they actually spend closer to about $200 a month. So if you have no idea what you're spending on subscriptions, maybe it is time for you to get a hold of your finances and take care of it. Truebill has saved its users more than $50 million, and over 1 million users have amazing things to say about them. You can read their reviews at truebill.com. So if you'd like to take control of your finances, manage your budget better, save some money for that big trip you want to take, then you should certainly check out Truebill. The average person saves $720 a year with Truebill. Get started today at truebill.com/TNQ. Take control of your finances and start saving at truebill.com/TNQ. That's truebill.com/TNQ.
Plain and simple. And my schools kept keeping me away. 3.5 years. The guys I graduated buds with showed back up. When I got to the team, they'd already been on deployment and come back.
That's got to be tough.
It was hard.
I remember that was tough for the guys.
So they pulled me away and sent me to the Army which is in the long run, it was great.
Yeah.
I wound up loving every bit of it.
Yeah. But at the time, like I want immediate satisfaction now.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
But the guys he went to buds with when he got back from 18 Delta, they're the ones that gave him his birds. So
Yeah, they're
that
like,
was
hey, we
special for him.
that was a big deal.
That was cool.
Well, yeah.
I was lucky. I got to graduate SQT.
You the first class?
Yes.
Because my brother was the second.
Yes. We were the first class.
Because he got his. I remember I got my Trident, and 2 days later he was graduating from SQT and got his. So he was 237. You were 236, right?
Yeah.
So he was the second class.
Yeah.
You were the first.
Yeah. I think we actually had ours before some of the guys in 235 were getting them from their team.
Oh, yeah.
Or they gave him out because they knew we were getting them.
Well, that's what happened to me. They
Actually,
literally-
he's 228.
Yeah.
They literally pinned me because I was going to my brother's graduation. I still don't have my bird. I was going through my Trident boards.
You're like, who are these guys? They're walking around.
So did you and Morgan not go in together?
No way they separated us.
But okay, so
At birth?
how did you end up in Bud's classes that far apart?
Okay, so I came in a
Went
little bit early. He had to finish college.
Okay.
And then he finished, and then it wasn't that far. It was 5 classes. He was 237, I was 228. I mean, we had the same instructors.
You went in at 226 though.
I did. I was on a long plan. I broke my leg.
Okay. I was in a long plan in college.
Same thing.
Took me
I've been on a long plan the whole
a lot
time. That's
longer
why
than most.
slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I've always been taught that. Like, don't ever, enjoy every piece of this. So I think it was my teammates when they were like, hey, I was like, my brother's graduating. He was the honor man. I was the anchor man, believe it or not. Like, dude can run, do everything, does it really well. They just beat me to death. I think that was funny. But normally you just get beat by the instructors of the phase you're in. With Mojo, because we were we switched in buds too. There was that he got full benefit from every instructor every day.
For a day. It's not like
Just a day.
The day of buds,
Just a
just a
day.
day of buds for 6-7 months. So when he came out, there was a 2 year, was it year and some change, almost 2 year separation. Because
Yeah.
maybe
they
that's
got
why
in
they
a lot of trouble. I mean,
Yeah,
I think people hear that story and they're like, and nothing happened to them. No, they did get in a lot of trouble
Because they
definitely
actually
took-
switched.
Marcus got hurt and he had already been rolled, and so
I
they
hadn't been rolled yet. I was still hurt. It was right before I got rolled.
It's a great
Otherwise,
story.
he could have done the class.
anyway, they Morgan was still in college. The reason it was such a big deal is because he was still in college.
Wasn't even in the Navy
He
yet.
wasn't in the Navy. And
That same face would ever up for.
and Morgan took Marcus's place for like a run or something.
Yeah.
And it ended up coming out like right before graduation. Are they like asking y'all if like
Remember on third phase at the island, we're like, hey, what'd y'all get away with?
Oh yeah.
So I'd been rolled out of the class. And they said, well, we had a set of twins. We switched them.
and somebody,
They-
popped it up. And
For all
then
the instructors aren't done. They were like, oh, well,
Mhm.
we got some of them here right now.
And so then Marcus had a what do you call that? The board? Like,
Yeah, see the admiral. I
An
mean, I
admiral's
skipped
board.
every freaking XOI, all that stuff, went straight to saw the boss.
yeah.
There's a lot of people in there.
Yeah,
when I
he
was
got in
there.
trouble. And then, but the thing is, when he graduated, and then he's like, oh, by the way, y'all be seeing my brother in a little bit. Morgan comes in and gets his ass.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like,
bet.
Thank you.
That's how they
Marcus.
punished me.
Yeah. So they punished Morgan. But the thing is, it shows Morgan's character for being honor man because he
Mm.
put out so hard every day. I mean, his peers, everybody saw how bad he got his ass beat, and he still took it every day and wasn't going to quit, and he just kept
Yeah.
coming back.
Struck you because the team guys walk in and be like, hey, man, your brother quit. I'm like, what? And I'd go running out there, then they'd say something else. It was just, it's always a
They would just
constant.
fuck with him.
Yeah,
but-
man. New guy, you're not even anybody in the team still after 2 or 3 platoons, you can say something. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You're 1 platoon wonder, new guy first, 1 platoon wonder, 2 pump chump. Threes and fours, those guys are the mafia.
Yeah. I was the only new guy in my first platoon. That was
Oh, really?
not
Okay.
fun.
East Coast, I can't even. Where'd you go first?
10.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible. I wasn't a turd, so I didn't get
That's the only thing we had going for us.
You know, yeah, thank goodness. Otherwise, that could have been real bad.
On my plaques, when it says "squared away dirtbag,"
Yeah,
that's the best compliment I ever got. Because when we're at work, you're squared away. I mean, work harder than anybody else. That's what I always tell myself. But then when we go play, we play hard. I thought that was a thing. My chief told me that. So that's why I ran the way I ran. My chief, when he saw me for the first time, he's like, "I want you living on the edge where the demons live." He's like, "I'll pull you back when you had enough." Look what he did to me.
good piece of advice.
I mean, look what
Good
that sucker
piece
put
of
me
It's a
through.
good piece of advice while you are a SEAL.
Right.
If you have the guys to pull you
get
back.
out, you should not walk where
Yeah.
the demons walk.
And we had so much fun, right?
Yeah, it's hard to run wild if you have no one that's putting a choker collar on you. So,
Man, they could, because we hang out with them dudes that'll just kill you.
yeah,
I mean,
Keep-
make your
keep
life
going.
like you can't even believe. Look what they do to us just to get in that fraternity. Can you imagine what they do to us when we mess up? It's hilarious
My
Yeah,
gosh.
so-
now because we lived through. Because now we made it.
So Team 10, let's go back to that. You're a new mom, and then you have another your
Yeah.
little girl.
Yeah. So in 2002, we had our daughter Maggie, and so I had 2 little kids, and I was just trying to navigate. What is this community? What is this world? What have we got ourselves into? I saw right away that there were 2 kinds of wives. There were those that were really bitter and angry and gossipy and hateful, and there were those that really, carried themselves well and supported their husbands, and just leveled up. And I decided that's who I wanted to be. And so, I had great mentors. Team 10 was kind of a blur. I don't know. It's all been a blur.
It's all been a blur.
Yeah.
It's all been a
Yeah.
blur.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear?
I feel like that's
I
the
want
way
to
it is
hear
at Team
all
10.
of it.
I wanna hear all of it. Well, I worked up for 2 years, and then we went to Germany.
Mhm.
That was our fun first deployment. So didn't do a whole lot there. We trained a lot around, Europe and Africa and a few other places, and did a lot of skiing and snowboarding on the weekends. And
Fun.
yeah, it was good time. While everybody else was going to war, though, right? So that was not a good time.
Isn't that funny how you looked at that?
Yeah.
Because that's a good time.
Yeah.
And like people pay
Right.
money to go do
Oh
that.
yeah.
And with us, it
European
was,
vacation.
it was,
Absolutely.
"Man, I want to go over there where it's miserable.
It's
What?
miserable.
Why would you want that?
Sleep
I
in a
don't know.
shack.
I want to sleep on the ground.
That's right. It's weird. It's a different mindset, huh?
Mhm.
So,
You talking about your second deployment with Team 10 or no?
yeah, so second deployment, a lot happened that deployment. That was our, we were in the same task unit, but
Yeah.
we went over to Germany first half, and we were supposed to switch out
yeah.
with the sister platoons until the helo went down. And when the helo went down, we wind up,
Charlie.
Charlie, you weren't born yet, getting chills. We wind up deploying, like, I think within that week.
So you're
Yeah.
talking about in Red Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Matter of
Did I
fact,
see you in camp?
I think
You did. You told
I think I was the first person you saw.
I was gonna say, I remember
because
that.
you flew into Germany.
Right.
You're obviously, you were all
We set that picnic.
battered
Is that
and
me and you at
bruised
that
up.
picnic table?
yeah.
That was you?
That was me.
Aw.
That was me.
That's what I thought. That was wow, right?
Yep. It was really wild.
Remember, because
Really wild.
they just carried me to that thrift store. They didn't have any clothes.
Oh, dude, that whole week was crazy.
Was that crazy?
I mean, when it went down, it was sad because we were deployed and we couldn't find out anything going on, and we were getting updates from our wives back in the States, which was
Okay, because
how
I knew, yeah.
frustrating was
Right,
that?
right?
Which there was nothing really. I mean, I feel like those days were just paused because they were looking for you. And it was like, oh, it gives me goosebumps too.
Yeah, it's just a bad time. We never even talked about it. This is the first time I think we've ever just talked about it, right? That week,
It was like Groundhog Day. It's just,
yeah,
Sure.
we stayed. I'm not gonna lie, we stayed drunk from the second it happened until we deployed because we didn't know what to do. We
Yeah.
were just waiting.
So what about the picnic table? Where
That was afterwards.
that was in Germany
Yeah. When I got back.
when y'all saw each other?
Yeah, I believe you were with either Command, Psych.
No,
Or-
it was
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I believe.
was it
You talking about Dell?
yeah.
No, yeah, he was there too, but he's talking about who I was. They were bringing, because I had all this stuff happening to me while I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, they would bring all these, everybody.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by nuts.com. Guys, I found this website. It's incredible. You guys should certainly check it out. It is one of the best kept secrets on the planet. They have got incredible snacks. We have a nice selection here at the podcast studio. I've definitely got some favorites, but you can't go wrong with anything they have. They have over 4,000 products to choose from. My favorite probably is their bourbon pecans, but they've got spicy plantain chips, dried bananas, dried strawberries. These are all delicious, nutritious, healthy snacks like nuts, dried fruits, flours, grains, and tons of other foods delivered straight to your door. I got a chance to talk to the owner. They are family-owned business, generationally. They've been doing this for a long time. He actually, during the whole COVID shutdown, was in the shop, sending out orders himself. Incredible dude. And I just love what they have to offer. They have an easy to navigate website with great photos of all the products. They're a family run business that takes pride in getting you the freshest snacks on the planet. Now, another great thing about nuts.com is they are an online pantry, meaning you're going to be able to find baking items for smoothies, rolled oats, beans, and more. Ton of stuff, gluten-free, vegan options. You can't go wrong. Delivery is fast. Most orders ship the same day. If you're looking to do something a little crazy, do a little something fun, they've actually got the ability to create your own custom trail mix sent straight to your door. Everything ships fast. Fresher products than the supermarket. You guys need to check them out. Now, here's the thing. New nuts.com customers are going to get free shipping on their first order. So all you need to do is text TEAM to 64,000. And remember, you support our show when you support our sponsors. And come on, who doesn't like good snacks? Telling you, try the dried strawberries, try the bourbon pecans, try the spicy plantain chips, create your own trail mix, check out those toffee cashews. I'm telling you, if you need something for your pantry, nuts.com has it. One more time, text TEAM to 64,000 to get free shipping on your first order from nuts.com. That's TEAM TEAM to 64,000. Terms apply. Available at nuts.com/TNQ.
Get in my head, talk about all that stuff.
Yeah, but you hadn't seen a team guy yet.
Not yet.
And I think I remember.
Except for Dell, because he
Except
was,
for Dell.
he was.
That's
So-
right. That's right. And they just thought it would be good.
Yep.
So yeah.
They got me out. That was the first time.
Me and two other guys went up.
That's
just
right.
To
And
say, hey.
The reason it was so tough on us is because everyone who knew about the op died. So we couldn't get any intel that we would normally be able to get, because everyone who had it they didn't, so we had to redeploy all the guys in. Then they had to figure out what happened. I'll let you know how quick we worked, because everyone else was already on theater. They found me. We were right there with them. But it was tough, man.
Yeah, I didn't mean to
It's
bring
okay.
that up, but that's that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, we chatted for a couple of hours. We drove up from Boobagain, met you up in my brain is fried. I forgot the base we were at. It's the main base, right?
Rammstein.
Rammstein.
Which one is it?
Rammstein?
That might be it.
Rammstein?
One of those two.
We are two knuckleheads.
They had me in the children's wing. I remember that. The doc, when I came to, I was kind of one-eyed, and he's like, they were so great.
Yeah.
I must have looked a lot worse than I thought.
You did. You were covered.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You were covered in shit,
Yeah.
head to toe.
And then so I, like Jessica Lynch, they kept her in that. That's what they would tell me. Okay, this is the secure. It was a pediatric. That's where they hid me.
No, you were covered in shit head to toe. Your
Yep.
legs, arms, like
It was awesome.
You were all cut up.
Freaking good time.
It's nasty.
It did look like a infection.
You're a big infection.
Yeah, like one big infection that came back. It was rough, but
It's all right.
it's good stuff. No, we made it.
Yeah, good to talk about
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. So that deployment was
Yeah, so we
Right.
we had to plus up the numbers, and so we went over there, and we really did. We got to work right away, actually, and we were extremely busy. So we worked with Canadians and New Zealand stuff, and we did a ton of mountain ops, and
Going back to where they were.
yeah, I mean, right after that, it was wild. It was still
Mhm.
it was still buzzing. There
And
was
they
still a
had
lot
hit that nest, right? So
Yeah.
we hit it
They
hard.
call it the hornet's nest. Y'all talking about this, it drives me crazy when I read like newspaper articles and these journalists that try and like discredit everything. And there's one journalist that, I don't know why he gets in my head, but he always writes these articles that like that nothing happened to Marcus, and yes, maybe some guys died, but it wasn't that big of a deal, and that part of Afghanistan isn't hostile. And I'm like, fuck you. This really did. How do you prove that to somebody? But hearing your side and everybody else's side, it makes me so mad at those people, these like insignificant journalists that want to discredit what he went through and what everybody else went through at that time. I don't know. It's stuck in my head.
I don't
right
worry
now.
about stuff. I mean, people are gonna talk some. It's kind of like that's the best form of flattery.
I
It's
know,
like reading,
but
the tabloids.
but I hear. I mean,
The trolls.
Yeah, I mean, they write it like
seriously,
that
it's
so people go
trolls.
study it
Yeah.
and learn what happened. That's kind of how you look
Yeah.
at it. So that's how.
But
That's
that
all.
time period, that was like hitting the hornet's nest.
It was busy. The whole
Yeah.
country was busy. There's a lot happening, and there was a lot happening from, obviously a little bit earlier than that. From I'd say from 2005, 6 to 2010, 11. It was just nonstop. I mean,
Man, 10,
It was
5
on.
and 10.
Yeah, it was.
When we took heavies.
So, it was like the best and worst times, right? It was the best times, I think, if you're an operator, because that's what we wanted to do, But of course, now there's a lot of scars from that. But also, it's the worst times, right? We lost a lot of friends, but again, I always go back to like choose your rate, choose your fate.
That's it.
We signed
I
up
was
for it.
signed up for it, man.
Yeah, wouldn't take anything back. Of
Nothing.
course,
So
do
Amber,
things differently.
how did you handle that, being a mom of some babies, these two babies, and you hearing information that your husband doesn't even know yet, and it being guys from his team?
The whole time was just so surreal to me because it was, of course, it was just so catastrophic. But it also was that, like I mentioned earlier, just the first time that I thought, oh, this really can happen and this is terrible. Plus, that was, the helicopter was Marcus's sister platoon, and then the ground element was, he knew, he and Mike Murphy were both from Long Island, so they were pretty.
In Buds.
And
Yeah,
Buds,
they went to Buds together. So we had a
And
lot
Axe
of
was
friends.
237, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We had a lot of friends that were impacted, and of course, by default, we had a lot of friends of mine, their spouses who were impacted. So I don't know. It just became. It was kind of, in my mind, it was kind of like game on, you sons of bitches. I didn't ever feel like you've got to stop, you've got to quit. I was actually so proud of him, his teammates, all of you guys. I was so proud to be part of that community at that time. And I was glad that he was able to do, to deploy and do the work that I knew he wanted to be doing. And I knew, like, God forbid, if I lost him doing that, he would have been doing exactly what he wanted to be doing. So if anything, I think it strengthened my resolve, but it definitely like made me grow up overnight. Like, this is not tiddlywinks here. This is like for real.
I saw that switch in a couple. It's the way it is around here. It's not. No, I don't mind. Go out there. He was like, get your ass out there and go to work.
Yeah, revenge. Yeah.
Reckoning.
Okay,
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah. We need to put Charlie out.
Oh
We
no,
totally
you're
can.
fine. No.
Yeah. So then from there, he went to. I don't want to talk for you. You talk about your own.
Oh, shift fire. Way to go, honey. Thank you so much.
When did you rotate out?
When did you rotate out? I don't know. When did you have that party when you came home?
October 2005, and then you went right into Green Team.
October 2005. Yeah. Amber threw a big party when we came home just because, they were excited that we came home after what had happened. And is that where you?
So don't say it.
Is that
I'll
where
tell you
had,
afterwards.
Is that where you had the CO's wife up in a keg stand at our house in the backyard?
Oh my
Maybe.
gosh.
That's great. I
We
was
partied.
like an E5 at the time. I
Yeah.
look out, my wife's got like literally the CO's wife up on the keg, like kegs in her mouth, like beer is literally spitting all over her and all over the place. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not sure if this is cool or not. Am I gonna get in trouble?
a lot of people came to that party because it was just, at that time, the community really started to come together.
Yeah,
I
like
think
we-
everyone was
like we
kind of
needed
living
it.
their separate lives. And, we went to like the meetings or the one party. And then it was just suddenly like, okay, this is like a very, very tight unit. This is our family. And
Yeah, I mean, everybody was like, Master Chiefs came over, CO came over. I'm like, this is weird. Like, we
That was
usually don't
awesome.
do that. But I think it was for that reason. I think people were just wanting to get together and
It's just like when 9/11 happened, brought the country together.
Yeah.
That was our
Yeah.
hit.
yeah.
Yeah, when tragedy strikes, you all have to stick together.
The longer you're in, because then you know them. By 1 degree of separation, we know everybody in the family,
Right.
and just divided by the coast. So when something like that happens, it just goes.
Mhm.
I mean, y'all's network's probably faster than anything come out on the type, because everyone's in contact, and it's funny how we can find things out pretty quick.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's why what we've been doing, with vets, which we'll get into, has just organically it's everybody. We just take care of one another. This whole community just takes care of one another.
So yeah, I left 10, went to another place for about 5 years and did 5 more combat deployments. And then probably towards the end of, I don't know what, 2000.
2008 was a particularly tough year. Every deployment there,
Yeah,
somebody was
it
not
was just
coming
busy.
home.
I was there.
Yeah, you were
I
there.
was there.
It was again, it was a blur. Like they all mixed together.
Yeah.
Very busy, running really hard, and I guess just towards the end of 2010.
From 2008 to 2010, it was really
Well,
tough.
I'm just trying to think of like when just didn't start feeling good.
2008, he lost his best friend, Josh. He flew Josh's body home. And then I feel like from when you came home from that deployment, when you brought Savvy home,
My dog.
you found an Afghan dog and brought it home as a working dog.
We would call him Savage, except it was a female, so we had to call him Savvy.
Mhm.
Charlie's like savage.
Charlie's like, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Make myself known here.
Yeah.
So yeah, from the time you got home from that deployment to the time that you decided to be an instructor and take a break, it was pretty tough. I
Yeah.
think Josh's death triggered that
Yeah. Well, I mean,
to some extent.
yeah. I mean, I think really when the helo went down, it's the first time I went like, wait a minute, we can get killed doing this. Like I thought we just wore body armor, we were fine.
I thought the same.
I literally thought that. I'm like, wait a
And
minute,
y'all are
we can get hurt
invincible.
doing this?
Yeah.
Like, no, we're invincible. Nothing can happen to us. So that's kind of the beginning. And yeah, it was just time to take just a break for me. I envy the guys that are in 20 and 30 years and can keep going. But for me, just something wasn't, right. I was looking for a change. I wasn't happy at the time. I was already seeing a psychologist, 2010, and it was just, it was like, let's go do something different. I went to OCS for about 2.5 minutes, just on the recommendation from the CO. That was a good, and there was no business for me being there. Literally. I showed up and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They were teaching me how to fold my underwear again. And
He got home from deployment, like his 7th combat deployment, and turned around and went to OCS like 2 weeks later. That was such a
Where'd
bad
you go?
idea.
Was it Pensacola?
No, it was Newport. I think it was Newport.
Oh, so Mojo went to
OCS.
OCS in Pensacola right before it switched.
Yeah.
I said the
I
same
went,
thing.
Yeah, I literally went there, slept the first night, woke up, and I remember I was reading, was it 11 General Orders of the
Yeah, yeah.
Century? Literally
12
reading it.
general. That was 11.
I think it was 12. We're so bad. Hey, we're not anymore, so we're allowed to forget. I remember sitting on
More
the
than
floor,
7.
trying to sit Indian style, because you had to sit that way. You couldn't sit against the wall. But I couldn't sit because my back was wrecked. And I couldn't read, and I remember taking the book and literally flinging it across the room. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I'm like, who's in charge here? I was like, who's in charge? Like, huh? I'm like, who's in charge? Like, oh, Lieutenant so-and-so. So I went over and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm not going to do this. This is stupid. and I think I'm going to go back to my old command because that makes more sense. And everyone was like so confused, like, wait, you can't do that. You can't talk to him that way. Like, you have to raise your hand. I'm like, shut the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to the, I guess it was the 03 or whatever it was running at the time. I just told him, like, hey, here's my story. Like, I'm going to go back to the place I was at, and I need some downtime. Like, yeah, no problem. Like, usually we keep people here for like 13 or 15 weeks, but like, you're good.
Oh
You
my
can you can go
gosh.
tomorrow. I'm like, thank you.
Oh my
So I went
gosh.
back, and everyone was like, what happened? I'm like, yeah, it wasn't for me.
Oh my
So we
gosh.
left. We
We
left
left.
Virginia Beach.
Yeah, we left.
We'd
We
been
went-
there for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And we went to the West Coast, and he was an instructor.
I was an instructor for first phase for about a year and a half. I hated it, honestly. Like, I was just in a bad place. Didn't want to be there.
Is that when Mikey Sowers was in?
Yeah.
Instructor?
It was great
And-
working with him because he's so talented, that guy. So anything that needed to be done, I just asked Mikey.
And was Ray an instructor then?
He was not.
Mendoza.
Ray Cash? Cash Care?
Mendoza.
Ray, you know what? I knew Ray. I'm trying to think if
Because I'm thinking the timeline.
it was right around that time.
2010 is when we met and married, and he took me out there a couple of times, and I remember Ray Mendoza and
It was a good crew.
Mikey
Was he in third
Sowers.
phase?
First.
He was. I may
yeah.
have just met him. I definitely was with Mikey Sowers.
Yeah,
we worked,
and Dave Bloom.
Yeah, we were all in.
And,
yeah.
and they showed me the cartoons that the
Yeah.
bud students do. Like they make them do these cartoons, and I thought that was so funny.
They're good. Some of them
It's
are good.
crazy
man.
how
They're
many
so
buzz
great.
classes have talented artists.
Oh no, they're
Like,
great.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
like draw from
so
Disney
good.
kind of guys. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing in the
They're so
damn-
good. All these names you're mentioning is great. Dave Bloom's so good to work with. These guys are just
Yeah.
He's all time.
amazing dudes.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But
Yeah,
so I'll tell you a funny cartoon story. So we get the first class. Somebody like right out of college was at OCS when I was there. Was in that buds class, and when I showed up, he's checking in. I'm like, hey, can we talk about who or no?
No,
We won't. So I come in. I'm like, we just call him Joe. I'm like, hey Joe, what's going on? He's like, oh my God, Marcus, Chief. I'm like, you can call me Chief Capone now.
Oh my
He was just checking. It
gosh.
was so funny. We're actually really good friends now. But the funny part is you're talking about the cartoons. So here I am, first phase chief, and not the first phase chief, but a chief, and they make a cartoon, and it's Chief Capone ringing the bell at OCS.
Oh my god.
Do you have that?
They keep them.
I know, but
Yeah,
I mean,
think they may have it. I wish I did. They didn't pay the man for that at all.
really?
That is,
Oh, yes, they
that's a
did.
funny
Oh,
one.
that's good.
That is so funny.
It was
So for
good.
people that don't know, like the bud students draw like a comic or a cartoon about something that's going on in the class at the time, or making fun of one of the instructors or some of the other students or whatever. And when I saw these, I'm like, these should be published or something, but it's not.
It's like
totally,
a Far Side calendar.
Oh,
right?
they're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're good.
It's-
You always take the best artists in class, so
Yeah.
that it's really good.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many artists are.
Oh, so
going
good.
through
We
buds,
had
though, really.
an incredible.
I wasn't one of those.
Yeah.
Because if you're the worst artist, you get to do the pool covers at the first thing in the morning. That's where I was at.
Oh, dude, we had
The artists had the best, man. They're just like, I gotta go draw the comic. Like, oh, I better be good.
Yeah, 4 hours later.
4 hours
later, everyone's dying, freezing their ass
Dude.
off. Where's the artist? Oh, he's finishing up
He's
his
doing
work.
his thing. Don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Because they would like, I mean, because sometimes they would write in verbiage.
Uh-huh.
And it literally was.
I sat
Am I
there for
saying
like
right? The
an
Far Side
hour
calendar, man,
looking
it was
at these
abstract,
comics, and they
hilarious.
have them for years. Like I think it's all of them. Like they've
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, we still have our book, and they're
Mhm.
in there.
I
But
wonder if
talk about
there's-
class morale, like pickup.
It's
Oh.
really
Yeah,
cool.
it's really good.
I wonder if there's ever been any classes with just shit artists that draw
Stick figures.
figures.
That would be.
No, we
me.
had shit.
They'll
We had
roll
this-
somebody back from the previous class.
I
mean,
can say his name. We had Rich Graham. He was fantastic.
Oh, he's so talented.
Matter of fact, he gave me my first tattoo. Well, my first bone frog tattoo. I
Yeah.
just said, Rich, just make it as big as you can that you feel comfortable doing. Like you can't screw this
In
up.
his living room.
But I was like,
I'm
just
pretty
do it
sure.
as big as you can, because a lot of guys have like these smaller ones. I'm
Yeah.
like, no. I want the biggest bone frog tattoo that
Oh
you can
my
make.
gosh.
Like if you can cover like my
It's
whole body,
literally this big.
it's huge.
Oh my gosh.
But he did it, and Rich is a great dude.
So that's the way it was.
He's teaching
Mojo,
tactics now.
we were getting the Trident. I don't know. My brother and I stand together. It makes the bird. And I remember we went in there. It was the only time we were both together. And the guy, we were on the chairs, and we are like, all right, draw it out. Kind of, we just showed him the picture. Like, it needs to look like this, but then kind of hide it and all this. And the first one he draws out, the wing was kind of like right here. It just kind of like one of those,
it was little.
like a little bitty, like Mama tried kind of thing. Like, my mom tried and got it done. Right? So Mojo's like, I want that thing across my back. The wings of the eagle stretch all the way across both he and I's back.
Sure.
And
I just got a flash of like Cal Naughton and Ricky Bobby when you
just
just
like
said
that.
Yeah.
Imagine them two, the dude and Walter. Because Mojo and I were split right down the middle.
Step Brothers.
Yeah,
that.
and Nighthawk. He
Oh my gosh.
he drew out the stencil first to make sure we would have to go back and get it. So the whole first part of it was just laying there for that freaking stencil. And we were diving so much. You're supposed to get in the water, especially salt water, after you get your.
Yeah.
So every time we would come out of the water, it'd just be bleeding. My whole body would be black
my
from all
gosh.
the. So we'd have to go back in there, and he'd just go to work. And finally, it took forever, but we got it
Was
done.
that in Hawaii or something?
Yeah, Hawaii. Everything else is done by the nobody, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Marcus
wait,
has got some of
Joey
that, too.
Nobody. Shout out to Joey Nobody,
Joey
Virginia
Nobody.
Beach.
It's
The
pretty-
best tattoo artist
Yeah.
on the planet.
That's what I tell people. It's like,
Miss
hey,
you,
in
man.
our community, when I'm walking around, people are like, so who does your ink? And I'll say, nobody. Like, oh, whatever, man. You don't want to tell me his
Uh-huh.
name? I'm like, no.
What's
If
his
you stand
Instagram?
close
War
enough-
Art.
War paint.
War
13,
paint.
War
I think.
Yeah, I was like, this is what it is. War paint.
War paint.
So if you fight hard enough, nobody will show up.
Nobody.
He drew all these out. I didn't. He's like, I got
He's
your
awesome.
ink. Come get it.
He's awesome. Amber went there before one deployment. Or no,
That
you
was a
s-
Christmas present.
Yeah.
I was always trying to come up with fun gifts when Marcus was on deployment, and so I gave him an idea, and he drew it up. And then I framed it and sent it to him. And then when Marcus got back, he went in and got it.
Feeling a little
Oh,
weak right now.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. A little dark.
Do you have a bruise?
Yeah,
Oh,
from my
your
freaking
COVID shot.
my Moderna
Jeez.
COVID vaccine last
I
week.
got the same demon right there.
Jacked me up.
So anyway,
Started right there.
yeah. Well, you know what? When something takes root in the SEAL teams, it's like game on. And
And when you're good, and you're a good person.
Hey,
yeah,
dude,
he's a good person.
yeah. Does
Great
nobody
person.
exist? Yes, he does. He's a really good dude.
He's real.
He is
What
real.
kind of name is Nobody? I think it's
Awesome.
Like
I know
Czech or
what-
Italian.
man, right?
Where's Nobody from? I don't know.
So, I guess where are we at now? On the West Coast, instructor duty.
Yeah, instructor duty, and then the first phase, it wasn't me. I don't, I'm too nice. Like I don't like yelling at people. I went from like 0 to like 1,000. So I would like say nothing, just like kind of be safety officer, manage everything, and then
Oh, those are the worst.
and then that one thing would just like piss me off, and I like would lose my mind. Like I body slammed a student like right in front of the flagpole, like on his back. Well, his name was Harris, right? And he's probably listening to this now. His name was Harris, and we had lost Josh, and Josh was like my best bro.
And Josh's last name was Harris.
And Josh's last name was Harris. And I was watching this kid Harris, and I was completely zoned in on him. And he was, he was slacking. He was like, he was just cheating. And I saw him coming out of the water when everyone's sprinting. He was like, half-assing it. And so I walk over to him, right? And I don't say anything. I just grab this dude, lift him up in the air. This is a student. Body slam him on his back in the sand. Everybody just like stops what they're doing. The instructors are like, what the fuck is he doing? I put my knee on his chest.
All right, guys, we're going to leave you hanging on the edge of your seats because this podcast is just too good. We are going to break it up, give you guys a part 2. So make sure you come back next week for the second part of the interview with Marcus and Amber Capone. We are so grateful to have had them. Their story is amazing. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the podcast. You can do that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, really anywhere you get your podcast. That way you can be notified the moment we drop the next episode, which will be next week. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. If you haven't already, guys, follow us on social media, teamneverquit.com/social. You can follow me, Marcus, Morgan, Melanie, all of us, whole team, see what we've got going on. We've got some brand new hats in the shop. You should check them out. They are really cool. They're leather patch hats. I love them. There's a bunch of new colors. They're going to go fast. Jump on there. And if you want to, head over to patreon.com/teamneverquit. Consider supporting us. We are so grateful for those of you that do. Our Patreon members are who allow us to put out new episodes every single week. And we just couldn't thank you guys enough. See you guys next week for the part 2 of Marcus and Amber Capone.